Hey guys, we're going to go through your 2.b.i solving quadratic equations DeltaMath assignment and just kind of talk through the different types of problems you'll see as well as how notation will work. So in this first set, it says setting quadratics equal to 0, and it's a timed assignment essentially, or timed question. So what you're going to do is you're going to hit start and you're going to try to do 5 problems as quickly as possible. Obviously, we'd rather get them right than do them quickly, so I'm going to take my time with this, and you'll see at the end what your percentage is. Okay, so let's do it. I'm just going to hit start and then get going. Okay, so which equation is equivalent to the given equation? And so our first step when solving quadratics is always to get it equal to 0, and we always want it to be in the form ax squared plus bx plus c, and for the most part you want your a value to always be positive. So your leading coefficient on your x squared term, we want that to be positive. So to do that, I'm going to get this set equal to 0. I could either add 9x and add 12 to both sides to move them over here, but that would give me a negative x squared. So in order to get rid of that negative x squared, I'm just going to move it over here instead. So if I have negative 9x minus 12 equal negative 3x squared, I'm going to go ahead and add 3x squared to both sides. So then I'll get 3x squared minus 9x minus 12 equals 0. 3x squared minus 9x minus 12. Lovely. All right, let's do this next one as well. So for this problem, I have x squared equals negative 17x minus 72. I need to get it equal to 0 first. My x squared is already positive, so I'm just going to move over this negative 17x and this negative 72. So I have x squared equals negative 17x minus 72. So I'll add 17x to both sides. And so then I'll get x squared plus 17x equals negative 72. And then you can add 72 to both sides. So then I get x squared plus 17x plus 72 equals 0. All positive. Okay. For this next one, we look at it and do the same thing, get it set equal to 0, but we want our x squared term to be positive. So I'm going to go ahead and move my x squared term over there first. So I have 3x squared plus 18x equals 120, and then I'll subtract 120 from both sides. 3x squared plus 18x minus 120 equals 0. Awesome, and then we have x squared minus 63 equals negative 2x. And so my x squared term is already positive, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to move this 2x over there with it. X squared plus 2x minus 63 equals 0. And we got to do one more. We'll get one more correct. So for this one, I got a negative x squared plus 4x on one side. I have a negative 60 on the other side. I want my x squared term to be positive, so I'm going to actually move all of this stuff over to the left side of my equation, because then that will make my x squared term positive. So plus x squared, plus x squared minus 60 equals 4x. Subtract 4x, subtract 4x. X squared minus 4x minus 60 equals 0. Voila, we stop. So there we go, 100%, because I got 100% of the questions right in that time period. So just as soon as you're done, you can hit stop and then it'll give you a grade. So obviously if you only get 4 out of 5, I'm guessing your timed grade would be 80% and so on and so forth. Okay, you can keep going if you wanted to as well. All right, for the next section of this assignment, we are going to be doing solving quadratics by factoring. So we've worked on just factoring previously, and now we're actually going to practice solving them all the way, which actually only takes one more step. So you check a couple of things first. So is it set equal to 0? Check, yes. Do I have a GCF that I can pull out of any of these pieces? No, because there's no number that goes into, besides one that goes into 1, negative 15, and positive 56. So I have x squared minus 15x plus 56 equals 0. And again, we're trying to figure out what multiplies to our AC value. So A here in this scenario is 1. So it basically multiplies to 56 and adds to negative 15. If you need to use the table, you can feel free to write that off to the side and do it that way. But if you practice this more and more and more, you'll eventually not need to use the table, which is pretty cool. And again, if you're stuck, you can always just like start doing your multiples of 56. So 1 times 56 gives me 56, factors of 56. 2 times 28, I believe, works. I don't think 3 works. I think 4 works. So 56 divided by 4. Let's see. 40 plus 16, so 14. Those don't quite add up to negative 15. 5 won't go into it. 6 won't go into it. 7 goes into it with 8, I believe. Oh, yeah, there we go. And then I can get negative 15 if I make those both negative. Okay, so then you have x minus 7 and x minus 8 equals 0. Those are your factors. And then to actually solve, you take your factors and you separately set them equal to 0. And then you can solve for your actual answers. So x equals 7 is one option, and x equals 8 is the other one. I don't know exactly how it wants you to input it. 7, oh yeah, so you're just going to put in the numbers itself. So 7 and 8. And there you go. And it shows you step by step essentially what I did. Okay, let's try one more of these. So in this one, we have to check our first steps. Is it set equal to 0? No. Okay, so that's the first thing we're going to do. So x squared minus 20x plus 72 equals negative 3x. We'll get it equal to 0 by moving everything to one side of the equation. My x squared is already positive, so I'm just going to leave all the stuff over here. I'm going to move my negative 3x over by adding it. Make sure you combine it with what is actually your like term. So like don't try to combine x's and x squareds. Only x's get to get added together. So x squared minus 17x plus 72 equals 0. Lovely. And now you can factor it. We figure it out what multiplies to 72 and adds to negative 17. Ooh, let's see. 1 and 72. Nope. 2 and 36. What else is 72 divisible? Oh, I know this one. We get 8 and 9. Right? Because 8, if I do negative 8 and negative 9, that will give me negative 17. And again, if you're not really familiar with all the factors, you can just try dividing 72 by different numbers and seeing what pairs come up. So we got x minus 8, x minus 9 equals 0. And then you separately set their factors equal to 0. And you solve for your actual solutions. That's a 9. There we go. 8, 9. Voila. And we could keep going on and on like that. All right, so let me know if you have any questions, but go ahead and give it a try.